First and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone, and shout out to those for that, start with 144,000. So, I was looking, doing some research because yesterday, I was watching Elder Pastor Hart, Elder Pastor Gabar lesson, right? And they was going in, it was started off, talking about Isaiah 19:14, and they went into Revelation 11:1, right? Talking about the measure, how we building this spiritual temple, how we building this spiritual house, the spiritual house now, and the men, I'm bringing out some precepts that show that, like the elect, we're the bricks to build that up. We're the bricks who building the house, who building that spiritual temple. But Spirit is on me, and I like going into history a lot. So Lord willing, it's edifying, and I found this article, and I was meditating, and I found this article, right, going in about the second and first temple, right, and Lord willing, show a few edifying precepts, to show these things, for edification purposes, and to edify our nation. So, right, let's start right here. During the first temple, during the first temple period, 1200 to 586 BC, the first temple was built in 1000 BC by King Solomon after King David conquered Jerusalem and made it his capital. The temple was destroyed in 586 BC by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, when he conquered Jerusalem, right? So, going from there, as I was reading, I'm studying this thing I was reading, right? And I remember reading first Esdras, and I'm like, hold up, wait, this is a key point, right? Because I was studying this one day, also going to work, but I'm looking at this, right? I'm like, dang, right? And I start right here, verse 4, right? 4 to 5, right? It said, ye shall no more bear the ark upon your shoulders. Now therefore serve the Lord your power, and minister unto his people, and prepare your family, prepare you after your families and kindreds, according as David the king of Israel prescribed, and according to the magnificence of Solomon his son, and standing in the temple according to the several dignity of the families of the Levites, and that's the descendants of of the tribe Levi, right? Or not a tribe, or one of the tribes out of the nation Levi, right? Who minister in the presence of your brethren, the children of Israel, right? So you got, that's the temple they talking about, right? So as you go on, and let me see, I want to start as you go on, right? And we're just right here, right down to verse 40, right? It says, talking about, right? So verse 40, right? So he's knowing, that's that temple that Solomon built, right? So then it says right here, verse 40, right? Wherefore against him, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came up and bound him with a chain of brass and carried him into Babylon. And this talking about, after King Osiris, he died, then his sons coming in, right? His sons coming into being the king. And one of his sons was king for like 3 months. They knocked him off. Then the other one come in, right? Another one come in. I think, when the other one come in, he was doing evil for the Lord, right? So then, when he do evil for the Lord, Nebuchadnezzar come in, right? Because as you go to Daniel 2, Most High used to show Nebuchadnezzar like signs and stuff in his dreams, right? Daniel 2 and verse 1, right? He said in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled and his sleep break from him, right? So Nebuchadnezzar was another man, was of another nation. He wasn't Israelite, but he had a dream, You know what I'm saying? He used to have dreams, Most High showing him vision. Dreams be visions, right? But so going back, not just so you don't throw anything, just throwing nothing around, right? Go back to Slackers. Go back to first Esdras 1. Jump back down to verse 40, right? Right? Yeah, verse 40 said, wherefore against him, right? Because, I started verse 39. It says, 25 years old was Josiah, right? he was made king in the land of Judah and Jerusalem, and he did evil for the Lord. Wherefore against him Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon came up and bound him with the chain of brass and carried him to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar, excuse me for that. Nebuchadnezzar also took of the holy vessels, who is that Israelite, right, of the Lord, and carried them away and set them in his own temple at Babylon, right? So when you go down, verse 54, right, it said, and they took all the holy vessels of the Lord, both small and great, with the vessels of the ark of Yahweh and the king's treasure, and carried them away into Babylon. As for the house of the Lord, they burnt it and break down the walls of Jerusalem and set fire upon her towers, right? So they destroyed the temple, right? They destroyed the temple, right? You know, as you read in verse 4, this is where, you know, going back up, right? This is, you know, let me see. Yeah. So this is, you know, right here, verse 3. It said right here, verse 3. First Ezra 1 and 3. And he spake unto the Levites, the holy ministers of Israel, and they shall hallow themselves to the Lord, and set thy holy ark of the Lord in the house that King Solomon, the son of David, had built, man. You know what I'm saying? So they built this temple, you know, and as they go on, you know, they pass, you know, kings coming into, you know, well, then they passed. So right now you got the time. Now Hosiah, he was a righteous king, you know. Then he went to war. When he went into the war, he was supposed to, right? He ended up dying in the war on the Euphrates. That's right here, right? Yeah, he joined that war when he wasn't supposed to, right? And he ended up dying. So then, you know, when Jokis, the son of Hosiah, he made him king, right? And he was only king for 3 months. And then Egypt disposed of him, right? And then the king of Egypt made Josiah his brother, right? He became a king, right? So as his brother, he the king. Then he started doing evil for the Lord. Now Babylonian Empire come in, you know, they take captive our people, right? And then they burn down the temple, right? So that's the destroying of the first temple, right? Lord willing, you know, Lord willing is edifying, you know. And like I said, I was studying on this, you know, meditating on this. So, you know, Lord willing, any of the brothers see this, and, you know, things seen, you know, open rebuke is better than secret love. But, you know, through the Spirit, I've been meditating on this, right? And I've been seeing it because I've been reading this a lot, you know, and it hit because Apostle Tahari, you know, things I'm missing this a couple times, things of that nature. And as the Spirit hit me yesterday as I was watching, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to get into it. And Lord willing, I came upon this article as well, right? So, keep going on, right? We'll jump down here right here. It says, you know, so this is the beginning of the second temple, right? So the beginning of the second temple period, 586 BC, the AD 70, right? And we know 70 AD is when who came in? The Romans, Luke 21, starting at 20, right? When the Romans came in and invaded Jerusalem, destroyed the temple, and did that, right? So, but, right, I want to show you this part. It says the second temple, the beginning of the second temple period, 586 BC, 70 AD, is marked by the return of the Jews to Jerusalem from their exile in 538 BC. They were not allowed to return under an edict issued by Cyrus, king of Persia. By 1515 BC, the reinstated Judah resident had completed building the second temple, right? The second temple is divided into periods. It's the Persian period, the Hellenistic period. What is the Hellenistic period? The Hellenistic period is when the Greeks came in. You know, they got the Greek going on, right? The Hellenists, right? Everybody adapted to that Greek culture, right? And then you got the Roman period, right? That's when the Romans do what? The Romans invade Jerusalem, right? Right? And you're gonna see right here during the Roman period in AD 70, the second temple was destroyed along with Jerusalem by Titus and his army, right? So I got some history on that, but first, I'm gonna bring out these precepts right when they go here, because you're gonna see when they built, when we start building the second temple, right? And when it says divided into periods, so this is when the Persians, when we start building, right? It says in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord might be accomplished that he had promised by the month of Jeremy, right? The Lord raised up the spirit of Cyrus, the king of Persia, he made proclamation through all his kingdoms, also by writing, saying, this said the King Cyrus of the Persians, the Lord of Israel, the Most High Lord, had made me king of the whole world, and commanded me to build him a house at Jerusalem and Jewry, If therefore there be any of you that are of his people, let the Lord, even his Lord, be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem that is in Judea, and build the house of the Lord of Israel, for he is the Lord that dwelleth in Jerusalem. Right? So then, going from there, I want to go to Ezra 1, right? And we'll start at verse 1, right? It says, now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity built a temple unto the Lord power, Yahweh, unto Yahweh, our power of the power of Israel, right? Then came Zerubbabel to the chief of the fathers and said to them, let us build with you, for we seek your power. We seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esadar, the king of Assur, which brought us up hither. Right? He said, but unto Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our power, right? He let them know, like, y'all ain't got nothing to do with us. Our God is not y'all God, right? Our power is not y'all power. He said, but we ourselves will build unto the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, as King Cyrus of Persia has commanded us. And the people of the land weakened the hands of Judah and troubled them in building, right? So going back to this, right? So it's divided into three parts, right? So now you got when King Cyrus, was the start of the beginning of the second temple, right? So now they build the second temple, right? And as you see, you got the Hellenist period, you got the Dark Age, right? When you got, I got all this in my notes, Lord willing. Right? Make sure my phone don't die. Okay. All right. Bear with me. We'll just let this pull out. Okay. The Hellenism, right? So, right, the Hellenists. About the year 200 BCE, there arose among the Jewish population called Vaishnavism, meaning Hellenists, who adopted Greek culture as such a way of life that they gave up their Jewish culture identity. So this is when the Greeks come into, right? This is when the Greeks come into play, right? The Greeks come in and their culture started spread throughout because it was in captive to them, right? And then when they took over, right? So then who come next after that, right? Let me see if I can read a little more in this, right? So they say right here, imported along with the Greek language, customs, and sports were Greek idols of the modes of worship, temples to the Greek gods and statues. Zeus littered the countryside. So you got Israel going off, right? You got Israel going off, right? So as Israel going off, going back to this, right? So now you got Israel going off, right? And then you feel me? So when Israel going off, right? It says 37 BC, King Herod enlarged the Temple Mount and rebuilt the temple with consult of the public during the Roman period in AD 70. The second temple was destroyed, right? So first we're gonna go to this. Luke 21 and 20, right? It said, ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then that you know the desolation thereof is high, right? So Yahweh Shai warned them, let them know what's going to happen, right? And Daniel 9, right? He said, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them or is in the midst of it depart out, and let not them. So like for that, I end up receiving a call. They end up messing up the screen recorder, So right. So this is a lot of Israel escape, when the army surrounded Jerusalem, 70 AD, right? It's talking about Esau when they assembled themselves as the Romans, right? So this ain't talking about the ancient Greeks, right? This ain't talking about the ancient Greeks come from Noah, right? This coming from Shem, coming from one of the sons of Noah, right? Right? It's talking about the Edomite Greeks when they came into power. Then the Romans come back into power with the Renaissance, right? And they come take over Jerusalem. All right, not to jump down to verse 24, right? It said, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down to Gentiles until the times of Gentiles be fulfilled, right? So, once again, in the Gentiles is who? Those Israelite foreigners who was caught up in that Greek mind state, caught up in the Roman mind state, in that foreign state of mind. So it's like, I want to go back to this. Well, you're right. This says the second temple was destroyed along with Jerusalem by Titus. It was also during the period that Yahushua was in Jerusalem. He was crucified about 40 years before the destruction of the city, right? So go over there, bro. Go over there. It's like my kids right here, right? So I want to go to this right here, because you're gonna see, right? Daniel 9:24. It says 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sin, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision of the prophecies, and to anoint the most holy. He said, know therefore, understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem until the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times, right? So 70 weeks is, right? So that's talking about Ezra 4:1, right? And it says, after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, and not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come and destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with the flood. What's that flood? Those Roman armies, right? Into the Revelation, right? What it says, when we escape from the flood, right? Until the end of the war, desolation are determined, right? This 2 weeks represent the time of the building of the temple to Yahushua was on the cross, right? And then once again, 333 AD, the people of the prince was the Romans, Titus, the flood, talking about the Roman armies, right? Coming to slaughter. And then, Yahushua warned them, man, right there, talking about the building of the temple until Yahushua come on the scene and dying. Bringing in the kingdom, Yahushua died on the cross and said it's finished. They didn't realize that, the hell that we had to go through to get these things, because, Yahushua came to fulfill the law for us, right? We got people going out, people doing all these wicked deeds, right? That's why we say through faith and grace. So Yahushua come in and also sacrifice, let them know, like, hey, it's finna be some hard times coming, man. What as he said, it said to make reconciliation for iniquity. Our people are destroyed, we getting sick, we finna get that punishment finna come. And the elect, the same ones who believed on Yahushua when he walked the earth, when he walked, and it's them same ones who gonna believe, but you had a lot who didn't believe. So therefore the Most High set that punishment, right? And Yahushua telling them, hey, y'all get right, man, because hey, it's finna be a hell coming, right? Once again, let me go back to it, right? Read it one more time. Right, it says 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins. How is that? Yahushua died on the cross, right? Therefore, once we get into the kingdom, there's gonna be no more sin, right? But things have to be fulfilled here, as you're going to keep reading, it says, and to make end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy. Because we know when Yahushua come back, we're going to rule in righteousness, man. The same one, Yahushua, Solomon, Isaac, same spirit, right? And Romans, they tell you, right, that, Adam brought sin, and the one who come and the same as him, which is Yahushua, the same spirit, he's going to bring righteousness, man. We're going to rule in righteousness once this kingdom is destroyed, and right away, this revised Roman Empire. So it says, and to seal up the vision and the prophecy and to anoint the most holy. So it's things that have to be fulfilled, right? It's things that have to be fulfilled. We know through the faith, through the grace that, we believe in Yahweh Yahushua, that when the time comes, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be brought into the kingdom. Ain't going to be no more sin. We're going to be back in our rural state. We're going to be back into our homeland, back into New Jerusalem, right? The tabernacle of David being rebuilt. It's the elect being built back up, the ones who believe, things of that nature. But now we're not building no actual temple. Now we're building a spiritual temple. That spiritual temple is us, right? And before I bring those precepts out right quick, what was it? Here it is real fast. Excuse the notifications, man. Here it is real fast. Lord willing, to come up. Come on now. This thing here. So we're gonna go down here to page 84 real fast, right? I want to show you, because it show you in the article, right? It's talking about Titus, right? Real fast, right? Titus and his army, right? And I want to show you. Real fast. Keep going to the wrong one, right? Right here. In the year 65 BC, the Romans under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. AD General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with a great slaughter during the period of the military governors of Palestine, whatever how you want to say. He said many outrageous atrocities were committed against the residue of the people during the period from Pompey to Julius. It was estimated over 1 million Jews were fled into Africa, fleeing the Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was full of black Jewish slaves, man. So, and that was destroying of the second temple. But now we're in the process of building that third temple, man. And we're those. And it's not no actual temple being built. We are the temple, man. We are the temple. We are those ones that being built, right? We are the ones building it up. We, like Pastor Gabar was saying on the camp, we are those, we the building blocks. We the bricks. We the bricks that's building up the temple, the elect, the chosen ones of Yahweh Shah, right? They'll bring out a few precepts they brought out, right? 1 Corinthians 3 and 9, right? It said, "For we are laborers together with Yahweh, and ye are Yahweh's husbandry. Ye are Yahweh's buildings, man." So we're the building, man. We're the building, right? So I'll read verse 10, right? It says, "According to the grace of Yahweh, which is given unto me as a wise master, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth their own. But let every man take heed whether he buildeth their own," right? So we knowing that, we're that building, man. We're that building, man. We the building block. We the temple, man. We the ones that's building back up, building that house, building that temple back up to Yahweh Shah. That's how we bringing we out here prophesying, doing the work, do the will, do the things He set for us to do. One more quick precept, right quick, if I had to go get ready to go to work, right? And it says right here, 1 Peter 2 and 5, right? It says, "Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, man, and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, man." So we're those lively stones, man. We in our body, our body is those sacrifices. We the living sacrifice, but we give all this shit we doing. We gotta do the will of Yahweh Shah to build that temple up, to build that spiritual temple. To do the work, do the will, prophesy, do the things He set for us to do. For our nation, and to prophesy against this wicked kingdom, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, With that being said, I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, and Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the hopeful. Let's start with 140.